Hey everyone, I'm Darian. Welcome to my channel. I wanted to get on and talk about pivot and change because that's exactly what I am going to be doing right now and with my podcast and with these vlogs. My podcast, which is called Am I Allowed to Like Anything? I talk to people about their work, their lives, how they maintain their optimism in this world, and the things in culture that they're actually loving and enjoying. And so, you know, I knew that I needed to start putting my episodes on YouTube, but because it wasn't video and it was only audio, my initial idea was that I would vlog at the beginning of them, just to kind of make it feel like they were actually for YouTube versus just throwing up a thumb with audio over it, because that's not really how I feel like successful YouTube videos work. But what I really thought about and what I really realized in the process of doing and in making and in kind of like trying out this format was that it probably wasn't the best format. It's probably just best for me to put up all of my episodes with the flat lays and the audio and not vlog at the beginning of them, and then upload all of them so that I can get to the later episodes that I have that actually have video with them. I think initially my intentions were good. I was like, I don't want to make it seem like I'm just throwing something up. I'll vlog at the beginning of them. I'll show people my face and what I'm thinking. But I should really just do that in separate videos. And I should really just get to my podcast episodes that have video and footage with them. Because think about the way that you use YouTube. I mean, even thinking about the way that I use YouTube. When you get on to watch a video, you don't listen to someone talk and then stare at a photo or a screen. I mean, maybe you would but that's not how most people use YouTube. I think they're looking to watch a full video or most parts of a video. So I say all that to say that as I continue to learn things, not only do I want to share them, but I also want to document them, and I want to just talk about what I'm learning. I think that instead of me just doing things and pivoting, I really want to get into the process of sharing with people what I learn in the thought process that I come to, because I'm doing a lot of this alone. And yeah, I may ask friends for advice here and there and talk through ideas with them. I'm really grateful for those friends, but a lot of learning just comes from doing, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So definitely I would suggest subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Instagram. I'm just Darian on Instagram, DARIAN, and continue to keep your eye on this channel. If you haven't listened to my podcast yet, all of the links are in the description. If you're someone who you're looking for inspiration, maybe you want to get involved in media or the arts or creative or even just different aspects of culture, I truly do have people from a lot of different walks of life, specifically a lot of Black women, I think, on my podcast. So enjoy this episode, and I will see you on the internet. 10, 9, 8,
7, 6, 5.
There was a period of time, not even long ago, where I just felt like a failure.
Yeah, I know the feeling all too well. All too well.
You feel like a failure, especially when most of the things that you want, you get.
Mm-hmm.
When you're like that, and especially when you're young and there are opportunities and you go for them and you get them. When, like I had jobs that I really wanted, and it was like, didn't get it. And you're like, I have never experienced failure in that way.
Yeah.
But now I have this job that I believe that I was meant to have that's just going to enable me to take my whole life and career to the next level.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely interesting when you're in those spaces. I remember when I was still out of school. It was like 3-year kind of like gap period situation. And I was like, yo, I'm about to apply for some jobs. Like real jobs. Like,
yeah,
I need a salary.
right.
I was applying at everything. Everything was a no. Nah. Literally everything I applied to was a no. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm not applying for nothing else ever again. And then I won like Glamour Magazine Top 25. I'm like, look at God. Like,
right.
Like, that was crazy. I was like, first of all, I'm never applying for another situation ever again. But to apply for something and then not get it was like, first of all, I could do this job. But second of all, I'm used to not doing shit in a conventional way. So why am I doing this in a conventional... Like, my shit is build relationships with people.
Right.
Period. Who you know will get you in a building, what you know will keep you there. Why am I not following my rules? Like, why am I not doing this shit?
You was on the internet applying for jobs, weren't
like,
you?
Literally. Like, going to search engines and whatever it is that people do for that, I was like, yeah, I'm about to find me a job for sure.
I don't believe in that. Actually, my religion is... My personal religion and moral compass is against that.
Yeah, listen,
yeah.
I'm against that too, which is crazy that I even did it. But you know, you're back against the wall, your money starts changing, and you're like, yo, I need to get something by any means. But soon as I just started chopping it up with folks, soon as I started being my authentic Syreeta self, it's like, why was I playing myself looking for a whole job?
Because
like,
your it factor just begins to shine through.
Listen. And people are like, so where are you working at? Because I need you to help me with A, B, C, D, and E. And I feel like I've always been that type of person. I like to have mad stuff going on so I can focus on things, a lot of things at once, right? And I just like that I'm working on like this project and that project and a third. So, because I feel like my skills aren't necessarily traditional skills. Like, I can't tell you all of the things that I do, but I can tell you what streamlines all of them, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah, so tell me what that is.
So it's like hella random. So it's like, I've written a book that had like 33 contributors called Just Because.
Right. Hold on. This is a good time to introduce you.
Oh, hey, love us and shit.
I'm so bad at this, but I'm gonna get better. Anyways, first of all, I need to thank everybody for listening to the 3rd episode. This is the 3rd episode.
Hey,
this is still very inaugural, you know what I mean?
No.
Of Am I Allowed to Like Anything, a podcast. This is Darian Simone Harvin, and I'm here with Syreeta Banks.
What?
I just cannot believe I just called you that.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Me either.
I mean...
You know who I'm thinking about? Ashley Banks. I don't know why. You don't look like her. I think it was the Banks, the Gates. This is Syreeta Gates, and if you don't know her...
Yo, wow.
But I think you should just tell the people what you do.
Hey, I'm Syreeta Gates, live in the building for the 99s and the 2000s. I'm a culture creator. I'm committed to creating projects and or systems through multimedia platforms. And I'm like hella interested in digital archiving and mad other stuff. So, and I'm a dream director in a high school in Queens. So, you know, that's a little bit of what I do.
You know what I would describe you as? You are a culture historian. Like, you're a historian because you very much. I literally feel like 20 years from now, that's just gonna. That, and it's like that's gonna be kind of what people know you for. Like, you curated this, you created this. This was your idea. You executed this, and people will be able to like go to the places where you have like worked, and it's gonna encapsulate this mark in time.
I mean, well, I hope to do that. It's like I'm exploring this land of digital archiving now because specifically for Black people, right? Like, what does it look like? Okay, let me bring it back. When I get hooked on a person, I go ham. I'm looking at their Facebook, their Instagram, the top views on YouTube. I'm looking at how many retweets they got for a particular tweet. I'm looking at the top articles, and I can tell you everything about a particular person, right? So it's like, I can tell you everything about Ava DuVernay.
Okay.
But how I go to research her, I feel like is not a traditional way.
You're not going to Wikipedia.
At all. Or I might go to Wikipedia so that it can lead me to something else that's going to lead me to something else, to something else, to something else. But everything I want is never in one place. And that is mad frustrating. Like, it's a beauty in that, but it's mad frustrating at the same time. So it's like, I want to create a space that lives online where you can just go to this one place and get all the dope information.
Right. It's almost like taking the normal elements of kind of what create people's representation and reputation and upgrading it.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
It's 2015.
Absolutely. And nobody is... I mean, it's unfortunate that people aren't reading books like back in the days, but also books moving forward have to be created in a different capacity just in regards to how we retain and receive information, right? So it's like, if I'm looking through tweets and Tumblr posts and Instagram posts and Facebook posts, that content and how it's going to be delivered is going to be significantly different than what it used to look like 5 years ago.
Right.
Or 3 years ago.
Right.
Or 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe I'm now looking into people's Snapchats. I couldn't do that 3 years ago.
Right.
4 years ago. So I feel like how... I mean, you know, it's interesting. Like, if you want to study a person now, what does that look like?
That is an amazing question. What does it look like to research somebody in 2015? Yeah. Beyond a Google search.
Yeah, and not necessarily a celebrity, which is the dope thing, right? So it's like, I've been hip to Ava since she won Best Director in Sundance in 2012. Here we are in 2015, where everybody's on Ava DuVernay because she's doing brilliant work. Like, what would I have gone to look for then? Like, what tools would I have to use then?
And even taking something like Twitter that is constantly changing the way that we retweet and reply to people. Yep. Like, the way that you retweeted and replied to somebody a month ago on Twitter is not the same way that I am able to do it August 3rd at 7:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then, who says what is important? Right? So it's like, I can look at retweets and I can look at the things that are most retweeted. But who determines that? The people.
The people. Okay, I need to say something about that and the people. Shout out to Elliot because of Crown. Facts. I was at the Nicki Minaj Crown. For me, that is...
Queens in the building.
Queens in the building. I literally was sitting in the middle of the audience. I felt like I was in the comment section of her Instagram page.
Wow.
It was wild. It was crazy.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, literally, they live and die for her, and I do too. I love her to death. But anyways, that was the best crown I've ever been to, and probably, if not the best crown, one of the best crowns. Top 3 easy. And she said something that will never ever leave me. It's like, you know when you say, I'm never gonna forget when she said that. But you forget?
Yeah.
I will never forget when she said, the people ordain you. The people make you famous. Yep. The people make you relevant. Yep. And I think that anybody who forgets that is the day that you fall and tumble and become unsustainable as a human.
Absolutely.
As an influencer.
And we see it time and time again, right? So it's like, people have a message, and that message will only go as far as the people want it to go.
Right. And you know what I feel like kind of the next sentences after the people ordain you, they can also take that away.
0 to 100 real quick.
They can real also quick. Take it away.
But I think, so I always refer to myself as the most consistent person.
Good.
I'm consistent in, like, I love wild berry Skittles. Have been eating them since the 4th grade. Consistency. I'm consistently, I can turn up often.
Right.
That's consistent about me.
Right.
Syreeta has the same attitude whether I am winning an award or if you see me on a corner of Guy Brew and Baisley Boulevard. Like, consistency has been my shit because I know the importance of it. Right. So inside of, like, the people can bring you to the top or bring you back down to the bottom, the people also know consistent shit. Right. Right? People rock with Jay, and people rock with Elliot, and people rock with Danielle, and people rock with so many people because they are consistent. Right. And when that consistency starts moving other places, that's when people are like, I don't really know if I rock with him or her.
Right.
Like, I'm not sure. And that's also a great place to be in too, right? Because
Right.
like, as an artist, as whatever it is that you identify yourself with, you need to be able to stretch.
Right.
To some extent.
And I think there's a difference between inconsistency and also knowing that no one should ever be able to put you in a box.
Indeed.
And
Indeed.
I think that like understanding that, and also understanding that just because people don't see you working and see you flexing, and maybe you're not putting out an article every day,
does not mean you're not doing it.
Does not mean that you're not, just because I'm not on Twitter taking Snapchats and photos of like me writing with a pen and paper doesn't mean I'm not working.
Absolutely.
And I think that you always kind of need, I know that I need to reassure myself of that often.
Yeah.
Is that just because I'm not out here putting out freaking content every day, I'm building something that I know I'm going to love one day.
Yeah, and then to some extent, it's like, it took Jay-Z 26 years
People forget.
to get Reasonable Doubt.
People
They
forget.
talk about Reasonable Doubt like as if it's one of the greatest, and I hella love Reasonable Doubt. It took him 26 years to get there. 26 years. Not 2, not 6.
And it's
26.
And it's crazy because once you kind of make it to this point where people want to kiss your feet, some people forget how long it took you to get there.
Yes. Yes. That's real talk. I've been bumping Mad Drake.
You know, I actually want to talk about that. I want to talk about Drake and Meek, but I really want to talk about it.
Lord.
No, listen to me.
Meek is so unfortunate. He played himself.
Let me tell you why it's so unfortunate. The whole situation.
Chef Curry with the pot. Your boy is cooked.
No.
It's a wrap for his whole career.
You know, not even unfortunate. Unfortunate for him, but you know, kind of tying it back to us talking about the internet, you know, I kind of sent you a rundown and I wanted to talk about like the exploitation of the internet and how exploiting the internet is my goal. That is like what I want to do. I don't ever want it to be that the internet has exploited me. Let me put it, I love to give this example because this is what I mean by it. You should be using social media as a tool. Social media should not be using you.
Indeed.
So like you shouldn't be looking at Twitter or Instagram as a tool. You should be seeing, in my eyes, yourself as the golden one. You should be seeing yourself as like the biggest asset because you have a mind and you have creativity. And what your job is, and what I feel my job is to look at these platforms and think of great ways to present new information to people. That goes beyond just sending a tweet and feeling confident out of intuition that people are going to see it and love it and want it. I don't believe that it fully works that way. So like when I talk about exploiting the internet, I kind of want to bring up the definition of like what that means, because people associate exploitation with negativity, but what it really means is to utilize, harness, use, make use of, put to good use, make the most of, capitalize on, benefit from, informal cash in on. So like when I look and when I think about the whole beef between Drake and Meek,
You mad because I didn't tweet your album, bro?
Like you know who's good at exploiting the internet? Drake. Because Drake knows how to use Instagram. Drake brings something to Instagram. Instagram doesn't bring anything for him. But Meek has said it himself. He's an internet baby, right? He's a rapper. He has followers. He has hits. So he can just post something and people are going to love it and want it. But like, I have never felt like he has ever truly brought anything real to the internet.
Indeed.
Like, he's never contributed in a way that makes you feel like if it comes to push and shove and I get into a beef, I know how to use this.
Absolutely.
Because you know who I feel really won that whole fucking beef or whatever? Yes, Drake. Like, if we're looking inside just the elements of hip-hop. But I think that the internet won. I think
absolutely.
that's what I think.
I think specifically,
we drove that beef
on the internet. One, like
yes.
the memes that I was getting.
That's what I mean.
The fact that you got meeked is now a thing.
That's a thing. That's a verb. Add it to Webster. Changes the entire game. Like, we're talking about it. What, we 2 weeks in? Yeah, if that.
Like, and it's so. Yeah, the internet definitely. I would totally agree with you, because the level of intentionality in which Drake utilized the internet was something that artists should be using the internet, period. People should be using the internet, period, wisely, period.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you are your biggest asset.
Absolutely.
What are you bringing to the internet?
Yeah.
And that's why I love doing this, because to me, it's like, no, I'm not in a studio. Mm-hmm. No, I don't have the best sound.
Yep.
But this has been so fun for me.
And that's I feel like where Meek fucked up. He posted a picture on a gram and basically was like, I'm in a tour bus going to Toronto. There's some dude or chick in the world that is recording his or her album on an iPhone. Nobody wants to hear that you in the tour bus. Where the track at, though? Where the track at?
Right.
There's no excuses of why the people needed to wait 4 days.
In between day 1 and day 4, the internet ran that beef.
The whole thing. You should have just said, actually, I'm good. I don't want to fight.
He was better off honestly doing that.
That's what you should have been like, actually, Drake, I thought about it and I'm good. I don't ask Nas, I don't want to withhold. Like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? He should have gracefully bowed out, because there are different levels to not saying anything, right? Meek had a very interesting point of view. Like, cats have been hiring ghostwriters since the beginning of time. But he was in a very interesting predicament, right? Mm-hmm. Like, the fact that Nicki is your girl, Drake maybe was your homeboy friend, who knows, y'all came together for some music, but there was so many ways that you could have took it, and you chose to get mad because he didn't tweet your album. You should have just said, yo, I'm mad that you didn't tweet my album.
Because he doesn't know how to really use the internet. And he got on his Twitter and he looked at all the replies and he didn't know how to harness that.
At all.
That's what.
At all. And I think, and it's fascinating because it's like, Elliot is dope at utilizing Twitter.
Right. That is someone who knows how to use the internet.
Yo, people go ham on Elliot all the time. Retweet, 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 retweet. People love Elliot shit all the time. retweet. So it's like, he's created a way in which, whether you love him or hate him, you're still acknowledged. Right? So your point, whatever you have to say, is still valid. And it makes you want to say shit again and again and again, because you're like, actually, somebody who I either don't like or I rock with, I mention something to them and I see you. Right. You are seen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And Meek didn't do that at all. And people, and I feel like Drake did it to some extent, right? Like,
he's at OVO right now with a freaking nappy-headed, cornrow, Meek Mill t-shirt on, throwback vintage.
Listen, I don't know. Like, somebody on Nicki team should have helped. Like, he should have got SOS.
You know what? It's like we can go back with the shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Indeed.
But all we know right now is that a good rapper will no longer be acknowledged the same way for his work.
Ever again. And it's unfortunate, but like, this took Meek's whole career. I think it's a wrap for him. I think there's
and it's so sad, because you know why it's a wrap for him? Because we decided that it was a wrap for us first. Yeah. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah. How do you come back from that? Literally, how do you come back from that? Because even, like, you look at, like, Nicki's Roman Reloaded album wasn't... Like, cats wasn't copping that like they copped Pink Friday.
Right.
The people still didn't decide it's a wrap for Nicki.
Right.
They didn't decide that.
Right.
They said, actually, we gonna give you another chance. Nicki started diversifying, doing clothes stuff, doing a Moscato, doing A, B, C, D, and E. American Idol. The people are like, Nicki, we're still here for you. we're still here. We're rocking with you.
Okay, does mixed Moscato actually have any alcohol in it?
I have no clue. I've never tasted it.
I should get some next episode.
I mean, I support that 100%. So,
the only thing I have right now is water and Hennessy.
the life you're living.
That's so. If you need either, just let me know.
That's
I know
the come up.
we're a little deep in.
I mean,
but
I'm grateful.
Yeah,
Grateful.
we're great. You know what? You know what? This is honestly why I wanted you to have you on, Syreeta, because like you are such a gratitude.
Yeah.
Gratitude is so important to both of us.
Absolutely, hands down. And it will help I think a lot of
people forget where gratitude will take you.
To the top, guaranteed. To the top. Every time. It's funny, my best friend, her name is Ashley, she goes by like the gratitude guru. So it's like, obviously I picked up a lot of tricks from her just as far as like different ways to express gratitude, but people will never forget that shit.
Right.
Like I want to be like I remember my grandmother always saying, to be a gracious giver you have to be a gracious receiver.
Right.
So I'm definitely, and I'm conscious about working on the receiving end, because I always think it's like, nah, you the bomb, everything's about you, but and the receiving end is so important. So it's like, what does that look like to give and then receive?
I want to move on to the +1 segment. Mm-hmm. Remember I was telling you about this?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something I've learned while in creating this podcast and thinking of the content, because I'm constantly thinking of what I should be talking about. Mm-hmm. What is worthwhile? What is nobody really touching on in some capacity that I think about all the time? Mm-hmm. And the name of this podcast is Am I Allowed to Like Anything? Mm-hmm. Sometimes it is really fucking hard to think about
stuff you like. Yeah. Because you constantly shitting on everything else.
And it's a good exercise, but sometimes it is very difficult. It is very difficult to be like, I just want to talk about this. And so it's a good exercise because it really allows you to think and stretch. But yes, so the +1 segment is in a lot of amount of time that I've kind of put on here to create some sort of structure, first of all. Mm-hmm. And second of all, it's an opportunity to kind of like shout out some type of product, experience, song, anything, person that you just want to give a shout out to.
Copy.
So let's
now
think.
I'm like, damn, how do I pick one though? Because this weekend I had like a crazy dope weekend.
Okay.
And
pick one.
Alright, I think I got it.
Okay, go ahead.
So my plus Syreeta Gates, live and direct. My +1 from Queens. Oh, we're live and direct from Brooklyn. Always repping Queens. Hardly home, always repping. My +1 is the Art of the Brick exhibition around Legos.
Thank you for bringing some art to this podcast. Going.
So let me break it down so it can forever and continuously be broke. Syreeta Cassandra Gates, love fucking Legos, B. I love playing with Legos. Specifically the architecture collection. And I am committed and I'm putting it in the world. I'm putting it on a podcast. So when people see me in the street, they can hold the kid accountable for what I said I want to do. I want to create Legos around Black culture. I.e., what does that look like?
Right.
You now can see a Lego set on the Eiffel Tower. You see it on the Empire State Building. Why is there not a Lego set built from or inspired by Howard University?
That is a good question.
Why is there not a Lego set that is the cover of The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill? Or Invisible Man, or Beloved, or why is there not a Lego set with the portrait of James Baldwin, whose birthday was yesterday? Or why is there not a Lego set with the cover of Reasonable Doubt, or Illmatic, or
like a cover of Essence magazine?
Or take it back. Why is there not the cover of Honey magazine? Shout out to Kierna Mayo up at Ebony, killing it. 2 issues in. What's up, Kierna? We see you. The people thank you.
We could actually go on and on and on about things that need Legos. A Lego structure.
Here I go sleep again. So that's what I'm committed to. I'm just looking for somebody to rock with me.
I don't know how I'm going to one-up this. Jesus.
I mean, I did pretty well. And I went to Philly to see it, which is crazy because I didn't see it when it was in New York. So I traveled and paid tolls. Levels of commitment.
So what did you see while you were there at the exhibit?
Yo, this dude Nathaniel, who is responsible for this exhibition, he's a certified Lego builder. He's the man. Shout out to him. There were skulls, the Sphinx, Van Gogh pieces.
Whoa.
This big ass dinosaur sculpture with over 30,000 Lego pieces. My man went in. He was okay. There's never been an exhibition around Legos. And so a person like me, when I get in and I see those things, I'm like, this is dope.
Right.
I could turn it up though.
You could turn it up though.
I could turn it up. And so now, I'm grateful. Thank you, Nathaniel, for creating a space where I want to turn it up. But yeah, I want to specifically look at Black culture in Legos. And so that's why I picked Art of the Brick. Nope. Who's a grown woman talking about Legos?
Not me.
Exactly. And you know what? I feel like you watch House of Cards.
Yeah. Okay.
Of course. What kind of question is that?
That's honestly a +1 because even though I have finished the season, I really shouldn't be saying this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. If God was like, Darian, I'm gonna let you come back as a white male, who do you want to be?
I'm weak.
Do you know who I would want to be?
You would not want to be Francis J. Underwood.
I did in season 1 and season 2, but not in season 3.
Would you want to be? Why I can't remember his name? The black dude? The bald-headed black?
No,
dude?
I would want to be Frank Underwood.
You would want to be Frank,
but only season 1, season 2. I just grew to despise him in season 3. He did some really fucked up shit to Claire. Beyond, he didn't care about anything, anybody. But anyways, I love that show. I love that. That's honestly my +1.
Yeah.
I know some people who actually work on that show because going to Emerson, there's a lot of TV, film people. So, but yeah, if God was ever Darian, come back, reincarnation.
Yeah.
I don't actually want to be him in real life. It's kind of a joke.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
But the only reason I even mentioned House of Cards is because you know how he plays, he'll sit and play video games for mad long, or he was building that, Civil War shit.
Right.
That is Legos for me.
Okay.
So I'm yeah.
In your free time, you're creating
or not even
masterpieces.
LOL. Not even in free time, in time where you need to not think.
Right. Just not even mindless isn't the word. It's when you need to free your mind and think in new ways. That's why always getting out of your comfort zone is so important. I'm not an artist. I don't really know how to dance that well. Yeah. I wish that I did.
Yeah.
I often think about taking an entire break from life and just going to dance classes every day.
Can I get a break from life real quick?
Can I get a break from life?
Please?
But but it's so important for me to fill my head and my view with these types of things because it helps me to think creatively.
Yeah. No, I totally feel you. And I don't even know. It's fascinating. Every time I go to buy a Lego set, I literally have every piece in the architecture collection except one because it's $300 and I feel kind of crazy about paying that for a Lego set.
One day it won't feel crazy.
Yeah. Hopefully very soon.
So, coming to you from Legoland, this has been amazing. It's been such a great conversation.
Thanks so much for having me, girl.
This is the longest podcast. I always try to keep it to a half an hour.
Yeah, indeed.
But this has been a good conversation.
Shout out to us.
Shout out to us.
Team us, we ain't worried about y'all.
Okay, signing out. Thank you, Syreeta.
No doubt.